guys. It is so good to see all of you. Okay, again, okay. Good. How are you guys feeling? Yes? Did the adult beverages do good for you tonight? Yeah? You guys feeling powerful? Awesome, yay! Okay, all right, everybody will get, if you weren't here today, you'll get a feel for what that was about tonight. I heard a little story recently about this fire that caught in this little town, and it was so bad the local fire department couldn't put it out. So the mayor put out this big announcement to all the local fire departments, and they said, whoever can put out this fire, we're gonna give them $50,000. So all of the local fire departments and the volunteer fire departments, everybody came up and they tried to get close to the fire, but it was raging and nobody could. Well, finally, this little rickety truck comes, all the way, passes one truck, next truck, gets all the way up to the fire. All of the firemen and women jump out, they put out the fire, and everybody is so excited. So the mayor goes to the fire chief and says, oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. How did you do it? What are you going to do with that $50,000? And the fire chief said, well, yeah, the first thing we're going to do is get some new brakes. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to throw you to the fire. We are going to have some interaction and we're going to have some fun. Now, who here absolutely loves public speaking? Yay! Okay, fantastic. And who here, when you had to stand up in front of the whole room and announce your name, got the creepy crawlies and got nervous and got up and sat down? How many of you were like that, honestly? Okay, it's not just Jamie. Jamie's the only one with courage. Isn't it so nerve-wracking just to do that? But the fact is that if you can do this one little skill, now we talked about some other skills earlier that were tiny little tweaks in our communication and in our personality. And public speaking is something that once you get in front of the public, you have more credibility than if you're sitting down. So I've heard a lot of people now, who here is doing public speaking on a regular basis? Okay, and tell me, is it something that you love? Are you preparing for it a lot? Or do you get up and wing it?
I'm a professor, so
Oh, so you're all the time. Okay, all right. Have any of you seen somebody who you were really surprised that all of a sudden they got up in front of the room and they were fantastic? And you were like, oh my gosh, I did not know they had that in them. And what does that make you think about that person? When all of a sudden you are seeing somebody who's blossoming before your very eyes. Well, I'm going to share a story with you. And I'm going to take off my jacket to do it. Where's Greg? Don't you get up. Okay. When I was in junior high school, or when I was in elementary school, I was a gymnast. And I was really athletic. So it was something that for me was really easy. And I knew by the time I got to middle school, I wanted to try out for cheerleading. And I was kind of one of those girls, everyone was like, oh, Mary's going to make it. She's going to be, one of them. So I had this one signature thing that I did. It was a back. I would start in the back. I would turn around like this, and I would jump down into a split. And every time I would do it, people would be like, oh, wow, that's so awesome. So, by the time it got to cheerleading tryouts, it was great. I was with a bunch of girls that I knew, and we were all gymnasts. We were going to have a good time. So, I was up there, and I was, doing my cheerleading stunt, and I knew that I was going to make it. I was all confident. But by the time that it got for me to do my signature stunt, which was standing here and jumping and turning around into a split, and usually everybody was like, ah! This time, everybody was like, oh, because all of the blood just drained out of my face. I pulled my hamstring right in front of everybody. Okay, so here I am in the middle of tryouts, and I am attempting to, make cheerleading and to be popular and to have all the fun that all the cheerleaders have. And now, all of a sudden, I'm injured. So, how many of you are middle children? Anybody? Middle children? All right, typical middle child, we like attention. So rather than me get up and try to go on, I was like, oh. They were like, are you okay? I'm like, Okay, so looking back, I was injured, but probably not that much. I like really milked it. Okay, so the next year though, so at the end of the day of cheerleading, 12 people made it. Mary Gardner's name was not on the list. I was absolutely devastated because I didn't make what I thought was supposed to be mine, was supposed to be easy. It was one little thing that I did wrong. I didn't prepare for what went wrong. Next year, a girl, her name was Lucy. That's a made-up name. She was not somebody that people looked at and thought, you know, this girl is somebody to watch. She's going to make cheerleading. Everyone was like, yeah, good luck. Right. So she gets out there on the day of cheerleading, and she had this beautiful smile the whole time, amazing smile. She was so excited. So here she is. She stands up there. Now, same thing happened to her. She did a stunt, probably that was more than what she should have done. She did a back handspring. And instead of everyone going, ah, they went, ah. She fell right on her head. But do you know the difference of what Lucy did versus what I did? She stood up. Now you could tell she was hurt. She could not compete. She could not go on. The rest of the cheerleaders went on and did their thing. What did she do? And at the end of that day, guess whose name was on the roster? Lucy. And by that time, everybody was like, who is Lucy Smith? They were like, oh, Lucy Smith. She is cool under fire. So it is the one time, if in public, you can perform at a very high level, you will be the Lucy Smith. So today, we did an exercise earlier, did we not? Who here is going to be coachable? Coachability, okay. I want all those hands raising high. Okay, let me tell you what coachability is. Coachability is the last time you had a manager review. How many of you guys do manager reviews? When you're, okay, it would help if I put it on the right foot, okay. One time I saw William F. Buckley with two different shoes and they were on the wrong foot. It was crazy. So, you know, sometimes people do that and they can get away with it. Okay, so, now, where was I? What are I doing? The what? Coachability. Okay, no. How you know if you're coachable is if you have a management meeting and your manager says to you, there's 26 things you do really well, but there's one little thing that you need to work on. So do you know how you feel when that happens? Like, okay, right? That one little thing, the difference is if you're coachable, is if you're willing to improve on that. If you're, instead of saying, he always says that, my manager complains about me all the time, they're always looking for something wrong. Instead, if you say, you know what, that is something I can work on, and I'm going to work on it. That's to know if you're coachable. So let me ask you again, who here tonight is going to be coachable? Okay, all right, so we've got a few that are not willing to. I promise by the end of the time, you will have fun, okay? Okay, we will have fun. This is about having a good time. Okay, what is one of the things that when you're doing public speaking occurs, what's the natural feeling that a lot of us have before we get up and speak? Butterflies, nervousness, fears. What does that translate like in you? What does that feel like for you? What happens to you? Anxiety. You said butterflies.
Determination.
Pardon me?
Determination.
You get determined. Okay, yes. I can see by the way you're sitting again. You're right? Everybody go into introvert right now, please. Okay, all right. Now let's get back to extrovert. Okay. All right, so fear is something that's very real. What happens to us a lot of times, we have physical symptoms, and fear is something that basically will traumatize us if we don't manage it. So some people get sweaty palms, some people get the creepy crawly red, some people, you know, the whole heads get red. Everybody here is prone, everybody will blush in some circumstances. Some people get queasy stomachs, some people shake legs, some people get queasy voices. So what we're going to do is I want to help you right now. I'm going to give you a couple of exercises. We're going to manage the fear. So tonight, while we're doing a few exercises, you will be completely prepared to do to be able to be okay. All right, so the very first thing in managing your adrenaline and your fear, I want everybody to sit in your chair like this with a smile on your face. Okay, feet down. All right, so you know before you guys had to get up tonight, there is a little bit of nervousness. This is when you would do this exercise. Before you're going to get up and announce your name and talk to people, here's the exercise. With a smile on your face, crunch your body and hold it really, really tight. With a smile on your face, relax. Christina, you don't want to look like you're like constipated. Really? Okay. Okay. No, it's about showing, so nobody knows you're doing this. That's the intention. Is that nobody knows. What is happening in your body is it's bringing down that heavy adrenaline that gets going and you can't manage it, where you can't think. Okay, so we're doing it just a minute. Okay, so do it again. Ready? Crunch, really hard. Smile on your face. Relax. Okay, ready? Crunch. Relax. Okay, that one, how do you feel? Christina's laughing. She had 3 adult beverages. Only 2. Okay, that's one little super easy exercise that you can do to manage your fear. Another one is this. I want everyone to do it with me. It's deep breathing. It's also, you're able to do this without people watching you, seeing you, and doing it, but it will also bring down your heavy breath. If somebody has that shaky voice or the red neck that comes about, this is a good one for you. So I want everybody to do it with me. I want you to start, and breathe in for 7 seconds. Ready? Go. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The next one, I want everybody, let me ask you this. Who do you guys think in our popular culture right now is a really good speaker? I love him too. Yes, he's a great orator. He is the blinky blinky thing. I don't know if he's talked about it a lot. I truly believe that Joel Osteen, and I may have told you that before at the other seminar we did, is an introvert. I don't think he really was seeking the attention and really wanted this as a career. He kind of was pulled into it. He was behind the scenes for 17 years doing videography and doing editing, and he learned a lot about what he speaks about. So when he's quiet, that's him kind of, I think, self-protecting is what I think it is. He's phenomenal. He's very charismatic. Okay, so let me ask you then, who was your favorite teacher? Who was your favorite teacher when you were a child or all the way through? Of course, Judy is probably everybody's favorite. Dr. Judy! Exactly. Okay. Think about that favorite teacher that you had. What were some of the qualities that that teacher had that you loved? How about you?
Very personal.
Very personable. Okay, very personable and connected. Excellent. How about you?
It made you feel like you were important, that you were somebody that she wanted to spend time with, or he wanted to spend time with, to make sure you understood what they were trying to say.
Yes. Okay. Yes. They pulled you in. Okay. What else? Anybody? Yeah.
Really liked what he did.
You like?
No, he did. He liked what he did, so I can't help.
About their work.
Oh, about their, they were very passionate about it. Yes. Yes. Very passionate. Okay. What else makes a really great speaker? And a teacher. And teacher. Teacher. The teacher. What? She was your, okay. How did Dr. Judy make you feel in class?
Well, you can definitely tell, like you said, when she's speaking, that she really loves the industry that she's in.
Okay.
And also, I like, the classes were small, so I like that it was a very personal thing. It wasn't like a big practice speech. It was just like her talking to
Okay.
a group of friends almost sometimes.
That seems to be the very common theme. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, communication.
Okay.
What it boils down to.
Yes.
Communicate it to the students so they understand what it is they're trying to do.
And real.
Yeah.
Real. And we were talking about it earlier. The authenticity is that it's real. Now, there's been a couple times tonight, I'm tired right now because I had a very long day, and just a few minutes ago, I've made a couple mistakes, right? And I'm like, hey, where was I? Where was I? That is a speaker who's like, you know what? We're going to make mistakes. And one time I saw Carrot Top on stage, and in the middle of his speech, he was up there doing his performance or whatever, and he was like, oh my God, I just had a panic attack. I just had a panic attack. Oh my God, like have you ever had a panic attack on stage? It's just right. Okay, where was I? And he went right back. And so a great speaker like a Joel Osteen or like Donald Trump or anybody is authentic, makes you feel right at home, makes you feel that they love what they're teaching, you know, they love that they're very passionate about it, they speak articulately about it, and very comfortable. So again, though, people have different qualities that they really respect. Some people back here loved Donald Trump. Other people back here, Patty, doesn't like Donald Trump. So everybody has their own mindset of the teacher and the qualities and the charismatic speakers that you really like. So what I'd like you to do during this exercise that we're going to do is to visualize your best self. Visualize yourself on stage. Our brains have the ability, how many of you guys use visualization in your life or in your business? How do you use it, Judy?
If I have to do a speech where I'm actually in front of, not in front of my students, but if I'm doing it outside maybe with my peers, which sometimes makes me more nervous than
Yes.
then I kind of visualize like a calm setting.
Okay.
And the fact that, you know, everything's going smoothly. Because that's my biggest fear is that, you know, the PowerPoint doesn't work or
Right.
stumble over my words.
Yes. Yes.
I vision cut smoothness.
You visualize everything going very smooth. Who else uses visualization in any capacity? You do? Okay, how do you do it?
Sorry, I just think about that. I visualize chocolate.
I do that too.
That works too. No, because I go into sales meetings all the time, so I just visualize that I always treat it like they want pizza or they don't want pizza. So when I meet with a client, when I meet with them and I talk to them about my services, either they want my pizza or they don't feel like eating pizza. And all I have to offer is pizza. So if they don't want pizza, it's no big deal. Maybe
I love
a
that.
month from now they'll want some pizza.
Right, I love it.
And that's my mindset.
No, that's great. So it's visualizing yourself being successful, basically, and being okay with it without. Okay, so we're going to, athletes have been using visualization for years. Your mind actually can recreate or can create something in your mind over and over and over, and when you do it in for real, your mind will not be afraid anymore. It will actually get you over. It'll make you feel like you've already done it. The very first time I used to do college speaking, I traveled around the college market and did a dating and relationship speech. And I did this upcoming exercise that we're about ready to do over and over and over. I did it in the morning, did it at night. Those are good subconscious times for you to be doing visualization because your mind is relaxed. So I did it in front of the exercise we did that we're about ready to do in front of a large group of people. But when I got up in front of 600 people the very first time, I had done this visualization exercise. I got out there on the podium. They called my name. I set my stuff down behind the podium. I'm like, 600 people. This is nothing. And it was fine. So your mind actually, if you do this and you see yourself in any environment, a lot of the athletes, the elite athletes will use it, whether they're water skiing or downhill skiing or football, they'll watch and see every single movement. If they're running around the track, they'll see every single movement. So when you're creating a life and you want to do something good in your life, change your life, transform your life, public speak, whatever it is, see yourself doing it first. If you see yourself doing it first, you'll have a higher chance of actually succeeding. So what I'd like you to do right now is everybody close your eyes. Okay. All right, so I want you to see yourself in the green room at the Amway Arena. And you are about ready to go on stage in front of thousands and thousands of people. You are the featured speaker. And people are coming from everywhere to hear what you have to say. So you hear the rumbling of the crowd, and you hear people getting set down. And then you hear them call your name. You walk out confidently to the podium, and then you stand in front of the audience, and you start your speech. You connect with people in the eyes. You share your heart. You tell them who you are. You tell them about your passion. And you make them feel great about themselves, where they are right then. At the end of your speech, you close it up, and you get a rousing standing ovation, and then you walk back to the green room. Not quite done, because then people are going to come and congratulate you and talk to you and ask you questions and ask your advice. And then when you're at home at night, you're very thankful that you have just achieved what you had dreamed of many, many times before. Thank you. Open your eyes. Okay. Was anybody nervous in front of a large crowd? There's usually a few people that are like, oh! Because if you start simulating that, in the beginning, you should be nervous because that's intimidating and scary. But over time, it gets easier and easier and easier. So what we're going to do is a very quick exercise. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables. And what I'd like is the person at the table with the shortest hair, stand up. There's no debate over here. Okay, all right, okay, all right. Okay, all right, so this is an exercise to help you connect. All right, it doesn't matter, we're all gonna get the same turn, just one or the other. Everybody's gonna get the same turn, okay. All right, so here's the exercise. What we're about ready to do is we're going to, we did an exercise earlier about connection and about eye contact, did we not? And how long does it take for a person to actually feel that connection or actually to fall in love or to love the person? Well, 2 minutes. 2 minutes for the love, 3 seconds for the connection, right? So if we get 1, 2, 3 connected, how are you feeling?
Very nice.
Nice. Thank you. Okay, so what our goal is everybody at the table, I want everybody to put your hands up like this. The person with the shortest hair is going to start. Your job is to talk about your job or your vacation or about anything personal that you'd like. And you have got to talk to each person that's sitting here. And when you feel that he has connected with you for 3 seconds, you can put your hands down. Okay? Does everybody get it?
Yeah.
No.
No?
I don't understand connected with.
Okay, come. All right, so we're going to give an example. Tell me your name.
Chad.
Chad, this is?
Susan.
Susan. All right, Chad. Share with Susan about what you do professionally.
Work with hotels. Yeah, this is not my thing.
It's okay.
He's more of a listener.
Yeah, this is good. This is good.
So Susan recently went on vacation, headed back to Kansas, saw my wife's family, had a lot of fun. Anything that...
Was that 3
was
seconds?
good. Okay,
Okay,
I
so
got
now
it.
you put your hand down. So what you do it for 2 or 3 people, and then the next person gets up. Okay, does that make sense? Do you understand? Okay, so we're going to do it again. This is a good exercise for you because it's stretching you, right? It is. Okay, all right, so you guys go ahead. Start over here. Everybody hands up. Okay, and so you're going to start, Debbie, and you're going to start here with Mabel. Okay, all right, so you can talk about, now you're going to come over here. Okay, you can come over here. Yeah, you can move around the table.
Hide in one spot.
You can do that. Do it for 2 or 3 people. This is a good exercise for you. You can do anybody here at the table too. Okay.
We're just going in order.
Okay. Yeah, Shal, you're up. Okay. And tell me about their daughters.
They're 8, 10, and 12 years old.
All right, that's 3 seconds.
Brave.
Okay, yes, okay, you're over here, keep going. Again, though, if you use that eye connection, you will be able to influence people. This table is still having fun. So, having the ability to influence people takes courage, and you using that eye contact and being able to connect. Again, we spoke about it earlier, the soft eyes, to be able to connect with a person. 1, 2, 3. It says, you're important to me, I care about you, I like you. What's the feeling back from the audience is, okay, she's okay, he's okay. I dig him, he's good. All right, first impressions of a speaker, and there's a couple things that make up a speaker. What people are going to remember about you when you get on stage. 7 20% of the words. How many of you all are spending a tremendous amount of time on the content? Content? They say content now, right now for the internet, content is king, right? Like cash is king, content is now king. But guess how much people will remember what you say? 7%.
They remember how you make them feel.
Okay, you're like jumping ahead in my workshop. Seriously.
I love that Maya Angelou thing.
Then I'll give you the statistics very quickly. 38% they're going to remember about the tone of your voice. 55% is nonverbal communication. It's what they're reading about you, which means that out of 100 people, if you give them the secret of life, only 7 people are going to remember. If you deliver an Academy Award-winning speech in a winning style, only 38 are going to remember. But if your fly is open, almost everybody is going to remember, okay? Nonverbal is important, nonverbal. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a mirroring exercise for you and your conversation partner. So I would like everybody to stand if you can, and if you can't, it is totally fine. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do one of the things when you're doing communication is there is a philosophy that like attracts like. So one of the things that you want to do before you do a speech is you want to find out who's going to be there, what kind of people, are they sports people, are they academics? Find out what sort of people are going to be in your audience. If it's your typical audience, like you speak all the time, right? Because you're a manager, right? So you think about who are you speaking to? What are some of the things that they would like to hear about? So when you're starting to present to them, giving them stories, things like that. What about you? Who do you teach for?
I teach hospitality management. I teach college students.
Oh, you teach college students. Okay. So giving real stories and things like that are very important. So you want to know, and you want to create a situation where you have a likability and a comfortable feeling. One of the things that you can do, it's a sales technique that sales professionals use. I know that you, Dale, are somewhat in sales. How many of you have done... Well, he's not really.
He's trying.
He's in customer service. It's really customer service, right?
I sell our product every day.
Actually, we're all ambassadors. We're all in sales every day, all day long, right? So, but the exercise we're going to do is called mirroring. The purpose of mirroring and modeling is to allow people to feel comfortable in your presence. So this is an exercise that's good for you in meetings. It's good for you in networking when you're presenting yourself in public. What it does is it allows people to feel comfortable around you, and they loosen up, and they become open when they feel that you get them, okay? So this is a sales technique that many people study in depth. How you mirror somebody is not only in your body, but in your tonality, sometimes your accent, sometimes in the pace, faster, slower. So I would like for, how about, tell me your name?
Bill.
Bill?
Bill.
Bill.
Willie.
Can you come, William? Okay, yeah. All right, so we're going to do a quick exercise. This is a mirroring and modeling exercise. So you're going to converse with me. You're going to talk to me, okay? So let's have a conversation. And if you feel like getting animated or whatever, then we're just going to have a normal conversation. I am going to mirror Bill, okay? So, all right, great. So let's have a conversation. So tell me about yourself.
So tell me about yourself. How'd you get down here?
How did I get to Florida?
Yes, of course.
I got to Florida about 5 years, it was about 7 years ago because I wanted to raise my son here. So I have a 13-year-old son. And so, you know, I wanted him to grow up in the same kind of situation that I'm in.
And you came from the great up north?
From North Carolina.
Well, that's semi-north.
Kind of.
Yes. Actually, I lived in Durham for a while. So.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And
Well,
you were from
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, what were you doing?
I was working in a hotel.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. So now this was a slight example, okay? We didn't have a lot of movement, but why don't you model me, okay? Okay, so Bill, tell me how you doing.
I'm doing fine.
You doing good? Awesome. So what's been going on with you? I've not seen you forever.
Well, that's because you've been here working all night.
Oh, I know. Can you believe it? Like, oh, this is just great.
That's all right.
Okay. All right. That was good. Oh, thank you. Okay. Woo! Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Okay. So the purpose of mirroring is not mimicking. If you were to mimic somebody, but so it wouldn't be exactly. So maybe but I'd like everyone to freeze right now. Freeze. Okay. Now we're going to naturally just see who's already kind of mirroring each other. We've got. All right. So right here we've got two people. Tell me your name. Keith and Chad. See how and also Lori, all three of them. See how they're all standing exactly the same. We've got two right here. We've got three, again, right here that are all, their hands are right in front of them. We've got also Bill and Arthur, who are kind of leaning forward. So it is a natural thing that people do anyway. It's the 7th grade. When girls are in 7th grade, they're all dressing exactly the same. Okay, so we do it automatically. Like attracts like. So we are going to get into each other's space and each other's body. You actually not, come on. Oh, seriously, I did not even. I want you to. It is a troublemaker. Okay, I want you to feel what it feels like to be in another person's space, okay? If a person is very quiet and reserved, I want you to model that. But in this particular exercise, whoever has the really shortest hair is going to be a big extrovert, okay? So that may mean that you are standing in different ways, okay? All right? So now you're not going to do it exactly, but if a person kind of goes like this, you may just kind of do it a little bit slow and a little bit. So if they do like this, maybe you kind of, you know, do it a little bit. So it's not exactly the same, but if they talk really excited, you're going to model back to them. One time I used this technique when I was in a car place. There was something wrong with my car, and he was like, I'm really frustrated with your car. And I said, I really don't know why, and it calmed him down. So if you can actually manipulate, and I hate using that word, but you can actually change somebody's person, who they are, and their attitude if you're able to model them in a way that calms them down. And ultimately, they'll start modeling you, and then you're going to feel, and it's kind of like when you see a person across the room, like, oh my gosh, like I just feel I have something in common with that person. That's the sense that you're giving the person that's in your conversation partner. So pick a conversation partner. We're going to have a conversation about your favorite vacation. And from this table over here, what was the experience? Anybody?
Awesome.
Awesome. Yes, Jose. Yes, okay, very good. Josh, all right, so good. How about over here? How was the experience over here? Good. Charles, Patty, okay. How about over here?
Awful and horrific.
It was horrible. Okay, Mark told me it was horrible. Why was it? Did you? Okay, so you had to model a female. How was that? Okay. All right, so one of the things, let me tell you, let me give you a couple of tips on body language that because it is different. Okay, so, but it's very important that you understand that body language can make or break, basically. Let me share with you on stage what is a powerful stance is this way, okay? How many of you, specifically females, ever stand like this? Okay.
Only when I have to.
No, that's an old cop-out and a wives' tale. Okay, this actually does not claim as much body space as a male does. Traditionally, men would never stand like this, especially in front of an audience. You want to stand very, very strong and powerful. Now, one of the exercises that some of you did not get to see before is if you want to put yourself in a very powerful state right before you go on stage, All you have to do, it's a TED Talk that I saw recently, is to put yourself in a powerful state, is to put your hands up, high over your head, get excited for 2 minutes. Woo! Okay, that's a universal, it is a universal thing. Also, sitting down, if you're sitting down, is like this, all right? If you're a female and you're wearing a dress, I don't recommend those. But if you stand up, sit up straight, look people in the eye, and this is something you've got to practice. You may be jittering on the inside, but this is what actors do. Christina, get a room. Okay. All right, so this is, your body language is incredibly important on stage. Okay. All right, I want to do an exercise that, that is going to help you guys move forward. If anybody ever get into a bad mood?
No.
No, of course not. Okay, all right, and has anyone that you've ever worked with gotten into a bad mood?
No, never.
Does that ever affect like a meeting or anything like that? Like, does anyone ever come like, stick in the mud, right? Okay. We're going to do a quick exercise for you to see how quickly you can manage your own energy, all right? This is for on stage. This is off stage. I would like to have 2 volunteers. Thank you so much, Dale and Harriet. Okay. Okay. All right, so this is for you to see how quickly you can change your state immediately, all right? Okay, so I want you guys to face each other. All right, one of the things that Muhammad Ali used to do when he was getting ready to go in the ring, you think about a boxer. Before a boxer goes into the ring, they've probably been a sparring partner and friends with the guy that they were going to spar with, or they're going to be in the boxing ring, right? But the day of the big competition, they go in the ring and boom, they got to hit each other. They got to pound each other, right? Like that quick. And how do they do it? How do they get that angry that quickly? Well, Muhammad Ali, what he did was he started thinking when he was a child, who bullied him? And what did they do? He remembered back that somebody stole his little red wagon. You stole my little red wagon. I want you to tell Harriet that he stole his little red wagon, that he stole your little red wagon.
I can't tell you how many lawns I had to mow to get that red wagon.
Are you angry? Tell him you stole my little red wagon.
I'm angry, but yet sad.
Tell him you stole my little red wagon.
You stole my red wagon.
Say it again.
Again.
That's a smart man. Tell him again, you stole my little red wagon.
Again, like I said, you stole my red wagon.
Say it louder.
You stole my red wagon.
Again, say it louder.
Give me my red wagon back. You stole it.
You stole my little red wagon.
See?
I want all of you to tell your neighbor, get up. I want you to get angry. And I want you to tell your neighbor they stole your little red wagon. Okay. You see how quick? If you want to get in a bad place.
Some people really enjoyed it.
Yeah, a little too much. Hello? Okay. All right. We got into an angry place. Now what I want you to do is I want you to think about that place that you go to that makes you really happy, really relaxed. Whether it's the bar, whether it's the beach. I want you to go to your happy place. I want you to go to your happy place. Okay? Now that is how quick you can change the energy before you go on stage or before you go into a networking event. Do you guys, so you can bring back the little red wagon exercise to your companies. And it's a good way for you to say, has somebody stole your little red wagon today? Has somebody stole your little red wagon? Okay. How much time do we have? I wanted to do one more exercise. Okay, we don't? Okay. So I have just been told we have got to leave the building. No. All right, so there's a lot that goes on with public speaking. Most of it is you being open, being willing to share yourself with other people, being willing to be vulnerable, and not to have to be perfect. Perfect is boring. And we don't want to be perfect. We want to be ourselves. Because each one of you that's here has something really different and something very unique about you. If you are able to embrace whatever that is and to share it and to talk about it, it's going to allow other people to feel comfortable and to allow yourself to shine. So I just want to congratulate you guys for taking the course today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. It's been my honor to be with you guys tonight. So thank you.